Sometimes regular brushing and flossing just isn't enough. So in this video, I want to share with you tips for helping to combat bad breath. First of all, how do you know that you have bad breath? How do you check for it? You can't smell your own breath because we have become accustomed to the smell. So it's kind of like when you step into a nail salon. When you first walk in, you're hit with the smell of acetone and other chemicals that fill the air. But after you're in there for about 5 minutes or so, you no longer smell anything. And this is a phenomenon called olfactory fatigue. Our brain just tunes out the smell over time. And basically, we have become nose blind to our own breath. So in general, people around you are probably not going to tell you if you have bad breath, although they may give you the occasional hint by offering a piece of gum or mint. So there are a couple different ways to find out what your breath smells like. And one way is to lick the back of your wrist and wait for a few seconds and then smell it. Another way, which is probably more accurate, is to use a tongue scraper and scrape towards the back of your tongue. You can also use your fingernail to scrape. It's not ideal, but it's an option if you have no other tool available and you really need to know. So then wait a few seconds and then smell it. And the back of the throat is really a hot spot. It's where a lot of bacteria that causes bad breath thrives. So you're going to get a more accurate result if you try this technique, swiping the back of your tongue. Once you identify the problem, what can you do about it? One highly effective technique is hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is very effective at killing odor-causing bacteria. So just take 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 1 part water, and gargle for about 10 seconds. And you want to really lean back when you gargle so that you capture the area in the back of your throat where most odor-causing bacteria is likely to live. It's also really cheap. Hydrogen peroxide costs just a few dollars at the drugstore or supermarket. So I have a water pick, and one thing I really like to do is power wash my tongue and the back of my throat with the water pick. So I just put 1 part hydrogen peroxide and 1 part water in the reservoir, so half and half, and I use the lowest pressure and aim it towards the back of my throat. And this can get really messy, so I actually keep the water pick in the shower, and that way whenever I shower, I remember to use this when I'm not in a huge rush. There's a small travel size water pick with different adapters, and one of those adapters is a tongue scraper, and this is great to use. You can clean your tongue using this tongue scraper with half water and half hydrogen peroxide solution for an easy way to kill odor-causing bacteria on the tongue. This will really help to freshen your breath. I will put a link to the water pick in the description below. Another thing I use, which is highly effective, is a zinc-based tongue gel called Tongue, T-U-N-G. It's very effective. 90% of bad breath comes from the tongue. I really like this tongue gel. It's natural and safe to use. It not only loosens, but it removes the buildup that forms in the crevices of the tongue. They also sell a round brush along with it, which is gentle and easy to use. I recommend getting the brush if you are going to use the tongue gel. I've used a regular toothbrush, but I have found that the tongue brush is much better to use for brushing your tongue. A regular toothbrush will just push around the buildup on the tongue, but the tongue brush is actually more effective at actually removing the buildup and really getting deep into the crevices of the tongue. I really feel a huge difference when I use the round brush. It's definitely worth getting. My mouth just feels so much cleaner after I use it. One other thing I do is I take breath pearls, which are soft gel pills that can be used to freshen breath and also to soothe the GI tract if you have an upset stomach. So sometimes I just go out to lunch or I go out to a restaurant for dinner and I just don't have the option to brush or gargle afterwards. And some foods that contain garlic or onions really can stay with you even till the next day. So one quick fix for after these meals is I take a pill to help freshen my breath. So that way I don't have to give up eating out or avoiding eating certain foods. So those are my tips for getting rid of foul mouth odors and for freshening your breath. I hope sharing these tips helps you find what works best for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.